My name is Professor Clare Wright. I'm a Professor of History and Professor of Public Engagement at La Trobe University. Jewish values to me have come down through my family. And what they are is family, is community, is justice, is a sense of fairness and responsibility. Definitely a sense of service and giving back, to use my voice in any way that I can to amplify the voices of the voiceless. I didn't join the Jewish Council when I was first asked to. I was a bit reluctant, I must say. I feel like probably a lot of Jews do, which is that this is a perennial problem. It's always a thorn in the side. It's very emotional, it's very emotive, it's divisive. And for me, particularly as somebody from the literary and writing and arts community in Australia, which is very small, I just felt like maybe I wanted to take a back seat. Not a usual position for me. I'm a front foot kind of a gal. And then as the months rolled on and the things that are coming on the news and the things that you can't turn away from, the desperation of the Palestinian people, the clear and present evidence that Israel is not going to back off its militarist activities. And I actually just decided there's a point at which if you're being asked to step forward, you can't step back. You can't afford to lean away from your humanity anymore. I'd like the Australian government to be brave, to show some of the spine and some of the pluck that Australian governments of the past have had. And as an historian, I'm actually thinking now back to the turn of the 20th century, when Australia was the first country in the world to give women full political equality with men. That was the right to vote and the right to stand for Parliament. The whole world was watching Australia to see what it would do because it was the first to find a solution to what at the time was called the women problem. The world expecting that the sky was going to fall. That's why we were called the social laboratory of the world. And lo and behold, the sky did not fall. In fact, many of the acts of progressive legislation that women all over the world had been pushing for all of a sudden became a reality in Australia because women were suddenly voters. Australia got the first elected Labor government into the world after women became voters. And why this is relevant to me is because Australia took an independent path. It was not looking over its shoulder to see what the rest of the world was going to do first, fearful of what America would think if it showed its own independent movement. It did the right thing. It actually took a stand. It was bold. And not only did the sky not fall, but the rest of the world followed. And I hope that Australia's current government can take a bit of solace and a bit of inspiration from Australian governments in the past to know that we also can independently think and act again now.